I cannot leave my kids and my wife. Yeah, I can't.
It's horrible. This is not for show. This is not for fun. I lost my husband yesterday, and he's not dead, but it feels worse.
Just over a year after getting married, Ashley Kennedy Purohit says she's now been left in a home she can't afford to raise 2 children without their father, after her husband, Tapan Purohit, was deported Saturday morning. Action News Jax first told you about the Purohit's legal troubles Thursday.
I cannot leave my kids and my wife. Yeah, I can't.
Purohit told us he originally came here on a J-1 visa in 2011, which expired in 2013. But after marrying Ashley last year, they filed for a marriage petition, which would let him regain his legal status. That petition is still working through the courts.
We were begging ICE, just give us 2 weeks even. And we could have still kept pushing the judge to make a decision faster, but they weren't having it, and I'm not sure why.
But after Purohit was arrested for resisting an officer without violence, charges that were later dropped, ICE came to their house. Thursday, they ordered him to buy a plane ticket to India and not come back, giving him until Saturday. Early Saturday morning, he met ICE agents at JIA and took that flight. Rebecca Black, the Jacksonville immigration attorney, told Action News Jax that in cases like these, immigration officials will weigh the reasons for deportation against efforts to establish citizenship, like through pending marriage petition.
It's a matter of grace built into the system that any executive can exercise some sort of prosecutorial discretion, or they can have empathy in the facts. And currently, we're not seeing a lot of that.
You can file a request for a waiver of this, but the chances of getting that have always been slim.
The waivers are taking about 3 years at this point, just processing time.
So just some facts about the case. Tapan arrived in the US in 2011 on a J-1 visa, which is a temporary visa, also known as an exchange visitor visa. It's issued to individuals participating in approved programs for teaching, studying, research, and other skills building purposes, right? So it's a pretty common visa. However, his visa expired back in 2012, and in 2013, he was ordered by the immigration officials to go back to India. He didn't comply, saying that he was scared to go back due to rising crime and other issues in India at the time. So he ended up getting a job at a stone industry, where he met Ashley, the lady you just saw, who he would marry last year in March. In August of last year, his attorney applied for a new visa, right? So everything was going great. Since he's married, now you can get his papers easily. But unfortunately, in December of last year, it looks like he was arrested after his wife called law enforcement officers following a fight between him and her teenage son. Right? So that ended up putting him on ICE radar, and even though those charges end up dropping, the ICE order remained. Right? So when I first posted about this story, ICE had already contacted him, asking him to voluntarily leave the US or else face deportation or arrest. But sadly, that Saturday, since he didn't go, they ended up following through with what they had said, and he was deported. I mean, this is really unfortunate. Like I always say to my fellow immigrants, stay away from any kind of crime, even something as small as a speeding ticket. Be careful out there, folks. If it's true that he assaulted his stepson and that's what led to his wife calling the police, then unfortunately he brought this he brought ICE's attention to himself after literally dodging them for over a decade. I mean, this situation would have been avoided. And but again, sadly, the case upon him doesn't seem pretty great. I mean, this tells you these kind of situations are definitely preventable, because regardless of what anyone will say, even illegals have certain rights, right? It's just a fact. But when you put yourself in the radar, you risk the worst, like we are seeing in this case. So obviously, in addition to staying away from committing crimes, please work with your local attorneys if you can. I know it can be expensive, but do your best so you can resolve your status issues. I know everyone's situation is different, but there's a lot of local organizations out there, a lot of local attorneys that will help you. So just call them up and see if you can work something out, if you can put some applications in so that you're at least moving the process somehow, somewhere. All right. Anyways, those are just my thoughts. And until next time, please stay safe.